care, and we need to be very much alert for this, right? So it's a great honor. Actually, it's a very great honor for all of us that today we have with us two eminent personalities, two most renowned dentists from Jamshedpur, Dr. Ramashankar sir and Dr. Mridu Dubey. I would request Dr. Ramashankar sir to please introduce Dr. Mridu Dubey to all of us. Rama sir.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. First of all, happy World Oral Health Day. As you see, as Madam Bhavya Bhushan told you that oral health is very important, not only for the teeth and oral cavity, but for the general health as well. So to give the awareness, we celebrate every day on 20th of March as a World Oral Health Day. And we thought of promoting oral health by giving some inputs about the oral health and teeth. So we have with us Dr. Mridu Dubey. She works in Tata Main Hospital, and she will be talking to you about the basics of oral health, how to maintain it, and what are the common questions normally people ask when it comes to oral health. So over to you, Dr. Mridu.
I can't unmute myself.
Ma'am, we are already able to hear you.
Okay. Ma'am, thank you. Can you also share my presentation?
Yes, ma'am, could you please put on the video? Ritu ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. The slide is there, ma'am. Can you see the slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'll begin. Very good morning, respected principals, members of the management, faculty, teachers, parents, and children. A very happy World Oral Health Day to all of you. And today I'm going to tell you about one of the most common oral disease that affects almost all of us at least once. Can you change the slide, please? To begin, what does a visit to the dentist look like to the child? It causes a lot of fear and anxiety. You imagine a lot of things. The white apron being so scary, then an injection probably, some sharp tools, some drilling. It's a nightmare. Can you change the slide? When parents can finally convince the child and take them to the dentist, it looks somewhat like this. You have to try every trick in the book to make the child sit in the chair and get some form of treatment done. It may at times involve the entire family, the assistants, everybody in the dental office to convince any little one to sit on the chair, let alone get the treatment done. Next slide. And this is what we dentists see when children walk into a room. We see probably bad teeth, a lot of pain, but what we fear the most is children crying. However, next slide, please. However, what we all really want is what this picture shows. A happy child, happy parents, and a happy dentist. And in order to get to this, we need to tell you about the importance of oral health. It all starts from there. Next slide. Why is oral health important? Or why are teeth important to us? They are needed most importantly to be able to eat. If you want to be able to eat all the food that you like, you need to have teeth. If you want to be able to speak to your friends, speak to your teachers, your parents, and you need to be able to smile without any problem, you need to have good, white, clean teeth. Next slide. On this presentation today, we are going to discuss the primary cause of tooth pain, what is known as dental caries, tooth decay to most people, or very commonly thought of as holes in the teeth. Next slide. To give parents and older children a little background, it is the most common preventable childhood disease. Dental caries is the primary cause of oral pain and tooth loss worldwide. And interestingly, it is potentially reversible in its early stages. According to statistics, untreated tooth decay is the most common global health condition that affects nearly 34% of the population. And although we can prevent this disease, this problem has not improved in the last 30 years. Next slide. Children with oral health problems are 3 times more likely to miss school due to dental pain than children with no oral health problems. And this is what makes it even more important that we address this issue very aggressively. Next slide. To give you a little basic knowledge, we'll start with the parts of a tooth. A tooth has essentially 2 parts, the crown or the white portion that you see in your mouth. And below the gums, you have the root of the tooth, which is fixed to the bone. In the cap that you see on top of the crown, it's made of 3 parts, the enamel, the white color, the yellow color one, which is the dentine, and the red that you see in the picture, or the orange, is the pulp, or what is the living tissue of the tooth. It is what causes the tooth to be a living structure. It has blood supply. It also has nerves, and it is also the cause of pain. Next slide. What happens when your tooth begins to decay? The process starts from the outer layer, or the white color as you see here, in the enamel. It first begins as a very, very small lesion, which you cannot even see with your eye. If you can see in the second picture, the corner on the left, the arrow on the left, it shows you a very small lesion, which naked eye cannot see, or a dentist can notice only after careful examination. If it is not treated, it progresses from the white enamel into the yellow dentine, becoming bigger and bigger, and the pain starts to happen. And eventually it reaches the pulp, or what you see as the red living tissue here. Next slide. So how does this dental decay or dental caries actually happen? If we do not brush our teeth carefully, or we just brush some parts of it fast, we leave the remaining, in some areas, you get a layer which is formed, known as a plaque or a biofilm. And if you see the second picture, it basically consists of bacteria and other microorganisms. So these bacteria or microorganisms, when you consume sugar, they act on that and they produce an acid. This acid then causes some ions, that is like calcium and phosphate, or minerals if you will, to come out of the tooth. When it comes out of the tooth, the structure of the tooth starts to become little hollow, or what is known as demineralization. Next slide. So what is the balance that causes this process? In the oral cavity, the teeth are surrounded by saliva. If the bacteria act on the sugar, they produce a weak acid, like I explained, that causes the minerals of the tooth, that is calcium and phosphate, to be removed away from the tooth. And that begins the process of forming a hole, or what is called demineralization. However, the saliva that we have in our mouth is also our protector. It protects the tooth. So what it does, whatever is lost, the saliva tries to compensate, it tries to fill it or push it back into the tooth, the minerals. And that is how a balance of this happens. But if you don't keep your teeth clean, which means there is more bacteria, or if you eat too much sugar, which means the bacteria can now act on this too much sugar and produce acid, the demineralization or the leaching of the mineral out of the tooth will be the major process. The saliva will then not be able to protect your tooth. In order to be able to protect your tooth, you need to help the saliva. That is by brushing your teeth with a fluoride toothpaste, or by coming to the dentist who will apply fluoride. How fluoride works, I will explain later. Or by eating food which do not have sugar. Next slide. What happens after you eat sugar? When sugar is, before sugar is consumed, the normal pH of the oral cavity is neutral, or around 6.5 to 7. Once you eat sugar, within 5 to 10 minutes of eating sugar, the pH falls to below 5.5. Once it falls below 5.5, all the ions which are in the tooth, they begin to move out of the tooth. If this process is, if you clean it, like if you rinse your mouth after that, or if the saliva is allowed to do its function, the ions will get restored back into the tooth within 20 to 30 minutes. And this is a normal process. If you see in the picture on the top right, it shows you what happens between breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When you eat breakfast, following that, the pH comes down, but between breakfast and lunch, it goes back up again. So it comes down for a small time, but stays up. That is, it is safer for a longer time. Similarly, between lunch and dinner. But if you take breakfast, then you take snack, then maybe you eat chocolates, and then again you eat lunch and you snack. Those many times, the pH of the tooth or the environment is more acidic. So those many times and those many more times, the ions will be able to move out of the tooth, increasing the process of caries formation. Next slide. Decay or dental caries can present in various forms. If you start from the picture on the left, it looks like an almost normal tooth. However, on close inspection, you may find that it is just the initial process that is beginning. Over time, it will progress, as you see in the pictures on the right. They'll probably get discolored, they will get deeper, and then eventually lead to pain. What is important, if you see in the first two pictures on the left, is that when it is initial or it is just beginning, we can actually reverse the process and save your tooth. But if it progresses deeper, then we may have to do fillings or root canal treatments, or probably even remove the tooth. Next slide. In young children, it may present in an even more rampant form, like you see here in the picture on beginning from the left. And then it may progress, as you see in the picture on the right, until the tooth is almost completely destroyed. Next slide. What happens if you don't treat the decay? Most people come to dentists only when there is pain, and some don't even come to us even if there is pain. If this process continues, what happens is as shown in the slides. See the picture on the left, the first two, they show when the tooth is almost totally gone. Nothing is left. If you still don't come to see us, the infection will proceed and become like a big abscess that you see in the third picture. Still further, this abscess may either drain out or it may become an even full-blown bigger infection, like you see in the last picture on the right, following which you may have to be hospitalized and we may have to do some life-saving surgery. Next slide. So what makes it very important that you get diagnosed or that you see your doctor in the beginning? If you see on the picture on the left, on the right, top two pictures, picture A shows small white lesions which you cannot even clearly see, but your dentist can. And if you come to us at this stage, we will apply a layer of fluoride. Fluoride is a chemical or a mineral that when applied to the tooth forms a hard protective cover on the tooth, which these bacteria or decay cannot take away. That is why fluoride is very important. Next. What else can we do? Previous slide. Okay, if some of you may see carefully, especially older children and parents of young children, you may at times see that teeth have some dark colored lines on them. So these areas which are not easily cleansable by a brush, because the brush will go over the surface, but it will not go deep into the tooth, like you see in the picture on the right topmost corner. So what happens, whatever food you eat, even though it is cleaned from the top of the tooth, it stays in between these deep lines and fissures. And therefore, this may result in the accumulation of food and then bacteria and then decay may start here. In order to prevent this, and if you come to see us at this early stage, what we can do, as you can see in the pictures in the below row, is that we fill these deep spaces with a thin liquid or what is a sealant, and therefore create a smooth surface that can be easily cleaned by a brush. Next slide. There is also one miracle cure. We all are aware of how much we hate injections. Children, parents, even dentists. No one likes children to cry. So if you come to us with a decay that is still preventable, like in the top picture A, we can apply this liquid, as you can see in the left two pictures, and then it will not allow your decay to get any bigger. So no injection, no pain, no drilling. All we need is 5-10 minutes in our chair. The only disadvantage, however, is that these teeth may become a little black or brown in color. But what it leaves for you to decide is the color a problem, or is the pain a problem, or is good health the issue? However, if the tooth has reached beyond this stage, in the corner right, you can see deep lesions. If that happens, then this miracle drug will not be miracle anymore. Next slide. So what is the most important risk factor to cause dental caries? As you can see in the picture, there are three important factors. One is the tooth itself. One are the bacteria or the organisms which are already present in your mouth. And one is the sugars that you eat. Either the amount of sugar or the number of times that you consume this sugar. The tooth factor is present in everyone's mouth, and it is up to us to keep it clean. The bacteria is also already there, and there is not much you can do to change it. However, what we can control are the sugars. Next slide. So therefore, you must need to limit the consumption of liquids which contain free sugars, including natural, unsweetened juices. Limit the consumption of complementary foods that contain free sugars. Stay away from a lot of candy, sticky chocolates, donuts, cakes, pastries. And if you do eat them, please rinse your mouth immediately. What is encouraged is a combination of different food that is high in fruits and vegetables and low in free sugar for young children. Next slide. What we can do to prevent decay. If we want to prevent decay, we need to brush our teeth at least twice a day for at least 2 minutes and use a fluoridated toothpaste. As I have told you before, fluoride forms a protective or a hard layer over the tooth that is more resistant or more difficult for the bacteria to cause decay. What is the correct amount of toothpaste for children less than 3 years of age? Just use a thin smear as shown in the picture. And between children aged 3 to 6, you can use a pea-sized amount of toothpaste. Next slide. What do you do in children between birth to 2 years of age? Before the teeth erupt, it is very important that you clean the baby's mouth and gums with a soft cloth or an infant toothbrush when you're giving the child a bath. This helps to prepare your baby for the teeth cleaning to come. If the baby is given a bottle when going to sleep, use nothing but water, because bottles which contain any sugary liquid or carbohydrates such as milk, formula, or fruit juice will lead to an increase in the incidence of decay. And most importantly, take your child to see the dentist at age 1 or before age 1 or when the first tooth erupts. In 2 to 5 years of age, teach your children to brush twice a day, once in the morning and most definitely before going to bed. Schedule a dentist visit every 6 months. Sucking on a thumb, finger, and pacifier can also affect your child's teeth in the sense that it may cause the upper front teeth to tip outwards or not come in properly. Most children stop this habit on their own, but if not, parents must actively discourage it by age 3 or ask your dentist for other creative ideas. Avoid juices which literally bathe the teeth in sugar. Try to limit the amount of juice you give to your child. Next slide. In school-going children, parents should supervise the brushing of teeth for school-aged children until they are 7 or 8 years old. When teeth are touching, it is time to begin flossing. Ask your dentist for tips on flossing your child's teeth. In addition to brushing and flossing, you can also use chewing gums with xylitol, that is those which don't have sugar. And please kindly avoid carbonated beverages like cola, which can erode the enamel on the teeth. Next slide. In a nutshell, what is it that you can do to avoid the decay? As I mentioned, reduce sugary foods and beverages. Brush your teeth 2 times a day at least with a fluoride containing toothpaste. And most importantly, before going to bed. And third, take your child to the dentist when the first tooth erupts at about 6 months and then on a regular basis. Next slide. We now have some frequently asked questions that a lot of people ask us. We hope this will address the queries for you all, the questions for you too. Next slide.
Sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. There are a few questions from our students as well as the parents too. So shall we do it after you address these slides?
Yeah, I just need 2-3 minutes for this. So I'll finish with this and then we'll answer the question.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, sure.
A lot of patients think that since the milk teeth are not permanent, it doesn't really need any treatment. And so they come to us at a stage where you cannot really save the tooth. But is it necessary to fill a cavity in a baby tooth? Yes, it is. Because it makes sure that your permanent teeth, it stays in place till your new set of teeth come. And if this decay is not treated, there will be severe pain. The child may not be able to speak. And it may also affect the teeth which are going to come. And maybe they will come out of the line, it may be crooked, and there may be further treatment required. Therefore, please visit your dentist at the first sign of decay. Next slide. Does my child need to brush her tongue? Yes, it is important to brush the tongue because at times it also harbors the bacteria which are responsible for the decay. So along with brushing your teeth, also brush the tongue. Next slide. When should I take my child to the dentist for the first checkup? It has to be before his or her first birthday or when the first tooth appears. Next. Are chocolates bad for my teeth? Chocolates are not bad as long as they're not sticky, like candies or maybe 5 stars eclairs. And if the child rinses the tooth immediately after eating the chocolate, it should not be allowed to stay or stick in certain parts of the teeth for a long time. Next question. How much fluoride should my toothpaste have? Anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 parts per million. Next question. Like I mentioned before, sugary or carbonated beverages should not be consumed or consumed to a very minimum. Next question. This is more for the older people and the adults in the group today. If I remove one tooth, will my other teeth become mobile or loose? This is not necessarily true because teeth tend to become loose only when the bone that holds this tooth is diseased or if the gums around the tooth are diseased. And normally this does not involve only one tooth. So if other teeth are also involved, they will become loose, but not just because you are removing a tooth. Next question. Do I have to replace some missing tooth? Yes, it is very important that you do replace all missing teeth. Next question. If I get my teeth cleaned, will they become loose? A lot of patients who come to us with deposits on their teeth and or with a complaint of bad breath and are advised that they need to get cleaning or scaling done, have a lot of fear that once the cleaning is done, their teeth may just become loose. This is not true. The false sense of security that the deposits give you is that they tend to hold the teeth together. Once it is cleaned, you may feel like the teeth are moving, but this is not true. Next, can the space between my teeth get filled? Not all spaces are meant to be filled. If it is within the tooth contour, it can get filled. But if it is happening because the gums have come down and the space has got exposed, then we cannot fill it. Next. This is an awareness initiative from the Department of Dentistry, Tata Main Hospital, on this World Oral Health Day, encouraging all of you all to be able to change and improve oral health. And we hope you will join us in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for this knowledgeful of PowerPoint presentation, as well as the simpler way you explained to us all the things that we all needed to know, and we actually come across all those things, but you made it really simple for us and made us aware too. I would request Dr. Ramashankar sir to please answer the queries of the students and few of the parents. Rama sir?
Yeah.
Sir, I would request you to please start your video.
Yeah.
Okay, shall I read the questions for you?
Yeah, it will be. First of all, yeah.
Yes.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, there are two questions, one from Soumya Bharti and one from Diksha Kumari Gupta. What is osseous surgery?
Okay. Osseous surgery is a term given to any surgeries which is performed on bone. So you will be surprised why we are discussing about the osseous surgery in oral health presentation. So we as a dental surgeon also do some surgeries on bone. So many times there will be discrepancies in the jaw some people have little larger lower jaw or upper jaw is protruded. So we do some surgeries on bone and we try to correct it. So the answer is osseous surgery is any surgery which is done on bone. So in case of oral cavity, it is either maxilla or mandible. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Karan Mishra of Standard 8. The person is asking, what is xylitol?
Yeah, very good question. Why? Because he has concentrated on the presentation very well. Because xylitol is a friendly sugar. You, in a simple term, you can say xylitol is a friendly sugar. So there are many toothpaste, there are many mouthwashes. They use xylitol because they want, the company wants the toothpaste or the mouthwash to be sweet in taste, but they don't want the effect of sugar. So they use the good sugar. So in a simple term, xylitol is a friendly sugar.
Sir, one more question is from Jamna Das of Standard 5, and one more parents have asked, what is mouth sores?
Okay, mouth sores are ulcers in the mouth, right? It can happen on the inner side of the lips, inner side of the cheek, sometimes on the palate, sometimes on the tongue. So mostly it is because of stress before the examination. So when we call it as a stress ulcer, or it can happen because of the deficiency of certain vitamins like B complex. So that can be corrected with the vitamin supplement. Sometimes it can happen because of the less consumption of water also. So these are the reason why we have mouth sores, but mouth sores are nothing but the ulcer in the oral cavity. Another important thing I would like to say about mouth sore, any sore in the mouth, if it stays for more than 2 weeks, then you should definitely see a dentist and the dentist can decide further. That may not be a very good sign. So any ulcer in the oral cavity which stays for more than 2 weeks, you should immediately see a dentist.
Thank you, sir. One more query. We have a little of time, so we would like to extract as much knowledge as from possible. 2 students have asked, what is the full form of ECC? Aditya.
Okay, ECC.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ECC is early childhood caries. So this is also known as nursing bottle caries. This is also known as rampant caries. You will see many children, especially in the age group of 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, they will have multiple teeth, especially upper front teeth with caries. So when you have multiple teeth with caries, the reason mostly is the nursing bottle. That means that the child will keep the bottle in the oral cavity and he will sleep with the milk or any sweet liquid. So when the multiple caries happen in a child, we call it as a early childhood caries.
Okay, sir, there is one more question. Why there is a gap between teeth? Meghadri Harshit Rao from Standard 6 is asking, why there is a gap between teeth?
Okay, since he or she is in Standard 6, so I hope he or she will be around 10 years of age. So 10 years of age, definitely there are many children which will have spacing between the teeth, especially in the upper front. So this 9 to 10 or 11 years is the stage which we call it the ugly duckling stage, because the upper central incisor will come at around 6 to 7 years, but the lateral and canine will not come. So when they central incisor comes, there will be a gap, but when the other tooth will come, probably the gap will be closed. So if it is happening at their age, there is no problem. It will definitely get corrected. But if this space stays for longer, then probably you have to see a dentist and the orthodontic treatment can be done. So there are various reasons for the spacing, especially in the children. This is the reason what I explained. But if you get at the later age, you must have seen your grandparents with a flared teeth, spacing between the teeth. So the cause for that is different. They are mainly because of the periodontitis, which is commonly known as pyorrhea. So there are various reasons why you have spacing. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, sir. Sir, there is one last query that I would like to ask you. The student has asked, which is the innermost layer of teeth that is not protected by dentine?
Okay. So Dr. Medhu has explained very beautifully with the diagram. It is called pulp. It is the only vital structure in the tooth where you have nerves and where you have blood vessels. So the tooth is vital as long as you have the pulp. Lot of people must have heard about root canal treatment. So what we do in root canal treatment, we remove these pulp which are infected because of the cavity. So once we do the root canal treatment, the tooth is no more vital. So the inner layer which is covered with dentine is pulp. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's all for today. We were having only this much of queries from on behalf of Srinath Public School. The meeting is about to end. Sir, before it ends, I would like to extend my deep sense of gratitude towards Dr. Mridu Dubey and Sir Dr. Ramashankar, sir. To all the students, sir, thank you so much, both of you, for enlightening us, making this day a real one for all of us. Definitely, we will take care of about all the things that has been asked to do so, and we will project our smile. Definitely, sir. Thank you so much, sir. The meeting is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I should also. I should also say thanks to Srinath Public School and the management for allowing us to celebrate World Oral Health Day with you all. And I hope we have given some inputs to your knowledge. And still, if you have anybody, they have a queries, Dr. Bhavya, you can collect those queries and you can send us. We will try to answer them.
Sure, sir. Sure.